welcome back to my channel, Welshman Reviews. Today I'm going to be doing my spoiler review for Halloween Kills. So this movie came out a couple of weeks ago, so that's why I'm doing my spoiler review. It is directed again by David Gordon Green, who directed Halloween 2018. It was written by David Gordon Green, Danny McBride and Scott Teems, and stars Jamie Lee Curtis, Judy Greer, Andy Makachak, and James Jude Courtney comes back as Michael Myers. So a little about the story. It's pretty much after the end of the 2018 movie, Laurie has trapped Michael in her house and set it alight, but he manages to escape and continue his terror on Haddonfield. Then when Laurie and her daughter and granddaughter manage to get to the hospital, you have her and townsfolk like Tommy Doyle, Lindsay Wallace, etc. from the original band together and with a mob and try and take out evil forever. So yeah, this movie, I enjoyed it enough. I did. I'm still kind of on the fence with it. I've watched it twice now because I thought one viewing wasn't enough to give it a proper review. So I thought I'd watch it again before I put out my review, which has happily enough come out on Halloween. I'll go into my likes and dislikes. So first of all, my likes. The acting, for the most part, is great. You got the women actors, as in Jamie Lee Curtis, Judy Greer, and Andy Makachak. Makachak, sorry. They are great in this movie. I think Judy Greer is a lot better in this movie than she was in the last movie. Jamie Lee Curtis is as good as ever in some of the scenes she's in. She's not really in a lot of the movie, to be honest, in this one. This one really does focus more on Judy Greer and her daughter Karen and her daughter Alison in this one. Alison's wants more revenge for her father's death in the first movie when they find out Myers has escaped. So she goes off with the Lonnie and his son Cameron, her boyfriend, and they help Tommy try and hunt down Myers. But yeah, the most part, the women in this are pretty good. James Jude Courtney is amazing as the Shape, Michael Myers. I honestly think his performance in this movie has elevated him up to being my favourite Michael Myers in the series. He just pipped Nick Castle for me. And like Nick Castle's always been up there as the best Michael Myers, the OG, but I think what James Jude Courtney has done in this movie is phenomenal. For someone who doesn't speak, so his mannerisms and his walking and what he does, yeah, brilliant. The music, so yeah, the music that was done by John Carpenter, Cody Carpenter, and Daniel Davis is brilliant. Really good soundtrack. So they continue on what they did brilliant in the last movie. It's not as good as the 2018. I probably just prefer the 2018 soundtrack to this one, but this one still is, again, with multiple listens, I think this one is going to be up there as well as one of my favourite soundtracks from the Halloween series. You get some good cracking scenes in this movie, very atmospheric. Not scary exactly. I wouldn't say anything in this movie is really scary, like jump out scary and all that, but some of the stuff Michael does in this movie is very vicious. It's a very violent, gory movie, this one, compared to some of the... You could probably compare this one with the kills and all that to more of the Rob Zombie Halloween movies, of how bloody and gory and some of the kills and that. But yeah, this is probably one of the most brutal Michael Myers performances. We have a couple of like some of the scenes. My two favourite scenes in this movie are the one where after Myers has killed the black couple who was dressed as a doctor and nurse, and Nurse Marion, who's come back from the original movie. He's chasing Lindsay through like a park. I love that scene because it showed the terror in her, and she's hiding from him, and he's slowly walking, trying to find her. It is. I thought that was one of the most atmospheric parts of the movie. My second favourite scene then is the other mob scene at the hospital, because they explain in the movie that there's two escaped mental patients. So Michael Myers they're still at large. So Michael Myers is one, and there was another guy. So the mob are chasing the other one, thinking it's Myers. So after he crashes the car, and then a bit later on in the movie, he turns up at the hospital that Laurie's at, the Haddonfield Memorial Hospital, and to get thing. But they all mistaken like Tommy, who's there, and after they bring Lindsay there after the attack and all that, he's there with a load of people, and they all mistaken him for Myers. But Judy Greer, Karen and Laurie both know it's not him, so they're trying to convince the mob it's not him. But the mob are in such a frenzy now and all that, they want blood, so they're after him. And yeah, the chase scene and all that, and the banging on about Evil Dies Tonight, which if you've seen the movie, they bang on about 40-50 times in this movie. They do. It gets annoying after a while. Like, some of that's not good because you see some of the patients running around laughing, maniacal laughter and all that, and their thing. But Karen has a beautiful scene with him where she's trying to help him, so she locks him in between a hallway with two double-sided doors to try and calm down the mob. Unfortunately, it doesn't work, so they're bashing at the windows. So instead of getting caught by them and thing, he kills himself by jumping off the window a few floors up and that. So yeah, that was another very emotional scene, and because the music played in it is perfect by Carpenter and his son and his godson. Beautifully played for that scene. There's a couple of other good scenes as well, like they do a flashback of 78, so pretty much showing what happened after Loomis shoots Myers off the balcony. So it's kind of like a little thing for Hawkins, because in the last movie they talk about Hawkins was the first person on the scene and that, and they show Hawkins chasing him, and him and his partner managed to get to the old Myers house. Detail is beautiful. Attention to detail is great. It is, and because they still have like the dog in the place and the gutter hitting the window, they still have all that. It is. The only thing I didn't like too much about the flashback scene was the Myers mask and the actor. The actor done a brilliant job, but if you compare the two Myers, the mask seems a bit too clean, a bit too new and clean, and he's not fat or anything. I'm not fat shaming or anything like that, but the guy who plays Myers now seems to have a bit more on him, a bit more meat, a bit more muscle on him, let's say, and that, compared to Nick Castle, who was a bit more skinny and all that, a bit more thinner. But yeah, that's another great scene with they have a brilliant practical effect on Loomis. So they have a guy playing Loomis, but he looks spot on, and they have a good voice actor doing the voice as well. So yeah, a couple of good things, but there a couple of the background actors as well, like the things you have a gay couple who are real estate people who live in the Myers house now. Little John and Big John, they're really good in the movie. You get some good funny scenes in it, but the problem is it was the same as the last movie. They have it in the beginning as well with the old couple. You have too much comedy that is for a suspenseful scene and all that, and it kind of ruins it, similar to what the kid in the first movie was like. It was. So yeah, some of the comedy doesn't fit in the scene, let's say. But you know, when it's not in the scene, they have a good scene with these children before that, and that's a really good scene. I enjoyed them in that, but then later on, then when it's more of a suspenseful thing, you know, people were laughing in the cinema when I first watched it and all that. I think, and it's like, and then you have a brutal kill then and all that when he kills Big John and he crushes his head and puts his thumbs in his eyes and all that. So, but you're laughing beforehand at some of the things they do. It takes you out of it a little bit. Like I said, and the direction and all that is really good. David Gordon Green does another great job, similar to the last movie. It is very atmospheric and that. But yeah, the story's not much of a story, to be honest. But then again, it's the middle thing. They do try and lean a lot into the supernatural in this one now, because as I say, it's a spoiler review. At the end, when Lorne, his son Cameron, and Alison go to the Myers house, Lorne and Cameron get killed. Just before Alison gets killed, her mother Karen comes along, stabs him in the back with a pitchfork outside, takes his mask and lures him into a trap with the mob. So, and then you got the mob thing. Brackett's there back from the first movie, and he says his line from the first one, "Hey Michael, oh, it's Halloween, everyone's entitled to one good scare." They beat the living daylights out of Myers. Yes, shot multiple times, and Judy Greer's Karen stabs him in the base of his neck or the top of his back with a knife, which I never understand. She had two opportunities in this movie to stab him in the head, and she chose neither one. One was with the pitchfork after he gets put down. Instead of stabbing him in the head, she just stamps on his head and takes his mask. And in this one, could have stabbed him in the head with the knife, chooses to stab him in the back. Yeah, weird decisions, but we wouldn't have movies if we didn't have stupid decisions in these horror movies. But yeah, and then we have a big monologue in between Hawkins and Law. Hawkins explains that it was his fault Myers is still alive. He stopped Loomis from killing him in the beginning of the movie, and so they're going on a monologue. You've heard the monologue in the trailers. Every time Michael kills, he transcends. He does so. Kind of, he gets back up, kills pretty much all the mob who were there with Tommy as well. People thinking Tommy's coming back at the end, but he's not. I doubt that he gets stabbed in the chest. And I'm sure Michael bashes his head in with the baseball bat then. So he kills everyone around there. And then you got Judy Greer's Karen goes up to Judith's room. She goes back to her daughter. All the police are there and all that. She's comforted. She goes in, sees Lorne and Cameron's dead bodies. And she goes into Judith's room, looking out the window. And then Michael comes behind her and kills her, similar to the 78 movie, and a similar bit of Psycho as well, the shower death scene. So, yeah, pretty good ending. I wasn't a big fan of the whole supernatural thing on it. You're just going back to what like the Fawn trilogy was like. It was kind of like the bad ones of the Halloween movies, but we'll see how Halloween End comes. So next year. I heard it's going to be like a time jump, but we'll see how that is. Do I have anything more to say about this movie? No, that's about it. They're probably my favourite and most things I disliked. The only other thing, the thing I disliked when he takes on the group of firemen, like 11 firemen die, I think they mention it in it. You see him kill the first couple. It's kind of a badass scene, don't get me wrong. But I think it would have been better if you're seeing him coming out of the house, and when he's stepping up to him, cuts the black and change, and then you see the aftermath later, like you do in the movie. I think that would have been a bit more of a powerful scene instead of just seeing him kill the first few, a bit supernatural, like he's how much power he's got picking people up and all that, and overpowering them. It is, and then getting shot in the end and all that, and then battered, but he still comes back and kills everyone in the mob as well. Yeah, I'm a bit hit and miss with them as well. As much as they're good scenes to look at, not a big fan of how the story of it really is. But yeah, that's kind of my review, my thoughts on the movie. like I said, I liked it overall. I'll give it a solid 6. It's an average movie. I probably do rate 2018 a bit higher than this one, but maybe if I watch this on multiple watches, it'll jump up on my my rankings. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, leave a comment below and tell me what you thought of the movie. And if you'd like to see more videos like this, subscribe to my channel and have a happy Halloween. Bye.